Okay, welcome back everyone to EP fly tying section. Today we are going to tie a brand new flies in terms of colors more than anything else. You know, it's the same style as the peanut butter, but this is going to be a fly we're going to be fishing into the jungle. This is what they're calling, you know, to mimic the Sabalo in the jungle fishing, especially for Dorado. So I figure that, you know, what the heck, let's do one and see how close I can make it looking of those bay fish out there. So we have over here, gonna be working mainly with the 3D Mino white, and then here I have already a mix of the Sabalo, but unfortunately this color is not available yet. It all depends on the demand I'm gonna have of these colors. If the demands, you know, tells me, well, you know, we need that color, then I'm gonna put this color. It will be available to anyone. But for the time being, unfortunately, I don't have. I just want to show you how this flies gets done. And we have the white EP fibers, black EP fibers, and the gray EP fibers, the original. Black and gray is the mix for the tail, which is a black, and then I'm going to use a little white to do the tail. So the first thing I'm going to do over here basically will be the tail, and I'm going to show you how that gets done. I already have a piece of white fibers. I prefer to do the tails into the fibers so that when this flies, it will swim into the water, you know, with the entire rest of the fibers is going to undulate it into that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the fibers for the tail. And this is how it works. You get a little piece, and I'm going to create one knot at the end of the fibers. I'm going to explain to you why I'm going to do that. Doing this tail, it might be a little bit tricky, but I don't think it is tricky at all. Okay, so here's my knot. You know, pull any excess fibers, which I don't think I have any over here. Now I'm going to cut it right behind the knot over there. So I have my little knots over here. Now I'm going to get this mix, already mixed it, black and gray. And let's see if we're going to double this, if it's going to be too much. Seems too much as a tail, so we're going to remove it a little bit. Let's see how it works now. I would say this is about right. So we're going to get the clear mono, and we're going to work with the fingers. So what we're going to do over here is basically grab it, the two fibers, the white and the gray. Okay, see, we already have it. This is one part of the tail, and this is the one that's going to be reversed on the other side. So what I'm going to do first is this. And this will work with any tail that you would like to create it in a fly. Okay, I got that. So let me cut a little bit of that so it's out of my way. I'm gonna go over. On the other side. Once I do that, I will tie right behind the nut. There you go. I mean, it doesn't really have to be that perfect because, you know, the fibers of the body is gonna be behind the tail anyway. So we're gonna make several F each over here. Got first set. And then we're gonna do the other one. There you go. When you cut it, the threads, you know, I will leave it. I'm not trying to cut it any close. Over here, if there is a little excess, you know, by all means, trim it. Don't worry. We got this ready to go. Let's see what we got. Okay. So basically what the knot will do is it will stop the black and the gray, so it will not slip over. And besides that, it's gonna fluff the tails out. So we have the tail ready to go. What I will do it, you know, very, 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 very careful, and you might really want to be very careful. Put a drop of glue right there on the nut, and you really can do that easy if you pay attention to what you're doing. There you go. If you have the difficulty to do that, you should get it, anything, a piece of plastic, you know, even a plastic bag, and you put a drop of glue on top of the plastic bag, and then you have your bodkin ready. Grab the glue, that little bit, that tiny bit you needed, and you apply with that. That would be much easier for you to do that. So I got the tail ready to go. Now we're gonna get started to do the fly. Okay, so once we have everything almost ready to go, hopefully I didn't forget anything, we'll get started. Work with clear mono. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the tail up. So let's say 6 inches maybe altogether. Honestly, I don't remember. So yeah, it's a 6 inches. Wow. Couldn't believe it. Now let me see where 6 inches is going to be. It's going to be at the end over here. Okay, I have an idea where it's going to be. We're going to just cut this is going to be about here. You can measure it, you know. Let me give you an idea so that you have a yes, I have to measure. I'll do 1.5 inch. Okay. I like to leave the tail as it is. I just cut over here because in the water, the tail obviously is going to spread it. So let it do their things, you know what I mean, as long as you have the black tail at the end. So it's good to cut 1.5 inch first so you know that your length is going to be pretty much here. just like that, if you know what I mean. Once it will stretch, but just like that. All right. I will save this. We're gonna need it eventually later on. All right, so we got that. Now, originally I didn't put any gills into these flies, but if you want to put the gills on it, this is the time to do it. So I'll show you how to do it. Got a piece of silky fibers. I'll do quickly over here. This is the time to do it, just in case you decide to do so. Put around the bottom. Make sure it belongs below. And we're going to cut this in an angle. Just like that. All right. I can stay there for now. I'm going to do a little flash. I cut over here on an angle, pull out some fibers, and put them over here for the time being. Then I'm going to kind of gathering together for the tail, just like this. And now is the time to do that. I don't know if you saw me doing this little trick. If you put the fibers on top, no matter what fibers, you go over with the threads, see you're pushing everything away. Trick is, you open your fingers over here, you hold them to the threads, you see that? Then you go on the other side. And this is just a one turn. Now you have the materials exactly what you want. All right? What do you think about the little trick? Now we fold it back. Okay. We have a little flash. That's good enough. So now we're going to start with the fibers. And before we do that, we're going to put a drop of glue. Just like that. The entire fly is going to be done with this color. There will be no white on the bottom. For whatever reason this bait fish, they have no white belly. A tiny bit just over here under the girt, that's pretty much it. And they have a little white fibers on the side for the end. All right, so I'm gonna pick the thick one because this is gonna be for the tail. Let's see if we have the length over here. Yes, we do. But nevertheless, we're gonna taper it as usual. So that when we trim the fly, it will be much easier on us. And besides, you know, when you get to the habit to taper the fibers, you will have a better vision of the fly that you intend to tie. Shape, the length, believe me, that definitely will help you. All right, let's see what we got here. Yep. So the fibers are needed to pass the tail, and then at the end, if we have to do some trimming, we will do it. But you should never tie the fibers ending over here, okay? Always ending passing the tail hand over here, right from the beginning. All right, let's see what we got. Yep, looks good. Okay, this is the top. Let's see what we got over here. We gotta make sure the fibers are there on the side as well, because now we're gonna put the fibers on the belly. And this again, we're gonna trim a tiny bit, just like that. Tapered. Okay, just like that. We gotta go on the bottom. Yep, we got the length. Again, you know, I don't want to show you how fast I can go. There is no reason for me to do that because you will not see anything. So I rather take my time so that you'll see exactly how I'm handling the fibers and the step I take. Okay. See? Now we have everything in place. I just want to show you on the first step, where do we have it? Okay, look, see? So now we're gonna, as we progress, we're gonna start to put less and less fibers as we will do in any peanut butter mullet type of a fly. So now we're gonna have to have a little more flesh right here. There you go. This color, I think, is just right for this fly. It has a gold. He has a little blue on it. He has a little pearl on it. It's a combination of the three colors. So it looks good. Okay. Now we're gonna go step number 2. Step number 2, we're gonna have to put the fibers pretty much over here. So you can measure like that and kind of double, and you see where to cut it. So what are we gonna do is we're gonna cut this guy about here. Tapered. Okay. Fold it back. I'm gonna need a little bunch, more of this. We're gonna cut the same length, like a 3/4 and 1/4. Leave it over here. Taper it again. If you feel like it's a little bit too much of a fibers, don't hesitate to remove the fibers. Reverse. Okay, we get in there. Tiny bit more sparkle. As I said before, this gold, it really goes nicer with it. Any fly that you will tie for the jungle fishery, you add a little gold or bronze or orange, that will make a difference. I don't know why, but well, actually, you know, you see all the bait fish on over there. That's pretty much the colors they are. So you really should do that and use those colors. All right, looks good. Top color. Oops. It happens. Okay, now we're gonna do the bottom. The bottom we're gonna do, now we do the girts over here with a little white. So let's get a nice bunch of white. This is gonna be the P fibers. Okay, let's see. Reverse on the other side. Drop a glue. So will be the last piece that we're gonna put on top of it. All right. Touch of top color just to finish the flies. And not really necessarily, but you know, what the heck. I'm gonna do a nice job over here. Okay. Now we're gonna finish them up. Okay. Let's see what do we got. All right, the important thing is now when we're trimming, not really trimming this part of the fibers. We're gonna leave it up for really last thing to cut it to the proper length. Yeah, those bait fish are kind of bold, so you want to give it like a nice rounded body. Again, take your time, don't rush it. Work your way out on the side as well. And in a minute I'm going to show you how to deal with the tail parts. Good. Just turn around. See the way I'm pulling out the fibers? So this way I really can see which one I needed to trim it if you're doing that way. Then once you pull it back this way, again, you'll be able to see exactly what needed to be done. Okay, of course, mess. That's okay. That's part of the part of the deal. Okay. Now, the fibers, they're reaching the tail out over here, so we're gonna have to, deal with that. And the best thing you can do is this. Look, it's very simple. This is your tail, and those are your fibers. You see that? Don't you never cut it this way. See, this is almost there. So what you're doing is this. You're reversing, and then you're gonna start to go this way. Until you reach the desired length. I think it's going to be fine. Because also what's going to happen when this fly is on the water, the end tip over here, you can barely see it. So the black tail is going to pick it up nicely. So you'll be good. But you're still going to have fibers over there that will cover the fibers, the tails. So yeah, it is. Now, if you have to do the last touch up towards the tail, you can do it much, much easier. And there we are, right here. Again, this tail is going to open into when it gets into the water. So, here it is. We're going to do some painting over here, and we put the eyes in, and we're good to go. So the first thing we should do is grab the black, and we'll do some pointing, just like that, on both sides. And you'll see on the actual bait fish, they do have these markers pretty much on the top, on the side, on the bellies. So we're gonna do pretty much the same. I'm gonna mimic the bait fish. I'd rather leave it the belly over here, under the girth white without touching. I think that should be enough. So now we're gonna grab this and we're gonna put it back in the hook. If I can find the right spot over here. Here it is. So putting back on the hook, actually, it will be easier for me to painting the top, because we're gonna be doing just the top over here. And this is how it goes. I kind of mix these two colors. This and the gray, give a nice combination. Take your time. Don't rush it like anything else. Just go around like that. You know, this bait fish, this little Sabalo over here, they really don't have a dark back, so a little bit on the dark side on the top would be plenty. Just like that. So we got that. We're gonna do the eyes. Eyes again is a matter of a preference. I keep saying that because I know the way it is. Many people that like to do the easy way. I'm gonna stick with my old way to do this. So first thing to do, obviously, is making room for the eyes, and we're gonna aim down to the hook shank. You kind of measure with your eyes where is gonna be the next one. Should be around here. Pretty much. We're gonna cut it. We're gonna leave a tiny bit stem on the back. Just to make sure that the fiber doesn't get compressed when we press on the eye. Whoop. Bring him in as much as possible. Don't be cheap on the glue. Let's go on the other side. I think that should be enough. Just make sure that the goop goes penetrate into the fiber so it will seal everything. All right, we're gonna remove out of the vise. Position the eyes, of course. Top, bottom, sideways. You should look at the flies in any direction because they need to really be even, so that will balance the fly when he swims. Let me see. Looks pretty good to me. And you can see those eyes. If you're looking this way, you can see the eyes are sticking out. So you can see they're pretty much even. I'm not touching the fibers over here because I don't want to pull the fibers until the glue is set. Just to show you the way the tail eventually is going to open in the water and the way everything is settled. Anyway, I do hope that you like to see this little fly over here, and if you go fishing in the jungle, you're gonna enjoy fishing with it, and you will catch a couple of Dorado. Take care.